What's up, everyone? CryptoSavy here. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. We're going to take a look at Bitcoin and Litecoin and where I think we're headed. We've been talking about these targets for a few days. We're going to dig a little deeper into them. It does look like Litecoin gave us a little clue. I do want to remind you guys there's a free Discord group in the description below the video. Definitely check it out. It's totally free. There's also a membership to the channel where we go a little more in depth if you want to check that out. But yeah, that's about it. Let's get into the video. All right, everyone, as always, I want to start out by saying I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is my opinion and my view of the market. There's a disclaimer scrolling on the bottom. Definitely read it. And remember, this is my opinion, not yours. I also want to remind you guys, don't forget to leave your comment in the comment section down below. Get you entered to win a free t-shirt. And you can check those out on my wife's webpage, which is in a link below in the description, inkyourimage.com. She can put a lot of stuff on any of that stuff you want. So definitely check it out. That's a good way to help support the channel. Looking at the news. There's something I wanted to, oh, right here. Stark Bitcoin warning issues as greed sharply rises. But if we look at the fear and greed index, it has not sharply rise. It's dropped 3 points from yesterday, still in the neutral zone. The longs versus short on Bitfinex, BitMEX, and Binance, the total is 63.24% longs and 36.76% shorts. Bitfinex longs still in the crazy area. So look at where we're at. We have this on the monthly, guys. If we close the monthly above the 9,200 here, this month would be extremely bullish. That would break us out of this downward channel. And I do think that would be extremely bullish. Let's go into the weekly. And first, I'll take a look at Litecoin real quick and just show you why it gave us a clue. I had talked about this yesterday. If you see this rising, broadening wedge here, and we were holding support on the top of this wedge, and if we broke through, I said that would be bearish, and then we were headed down towards our next targets, which we seem to be now. Let's go back over to Bitcoin. If you guys haven't watched this, watch yesterday's video. I explained why I have this target at 11,100. And that doesn't mean we head straight there, guys. If you watched the video from yesterday, I've been talking about it for quite a while. You can check it out. I do want to take a look at, if we look at this as a falling wedge, we have broken out, but we did not get the volume of breakout volume in this. So that's why I'm looking more towards this as the falling channel here. But let's look at one more thing in the RSI I like to point out, especially for those who haven't seen it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you guys like the daily updates. I do these every single day, so make sure you're subscribed and you tick the notification bell to get you notified when I post videos. Also, hit the likes, guys. Any YouTubers you watch, please just hit the likes and leave your comments. It helps out more than you know. It doesn't cost you a thing but a couple seconds of your time, and it really helps the channels out. All right, looking at the weekly RSI, we've been looking at this red line, which has been the support and resistance line on the weekly RSI. We capitulated down past it back in 13 or 14, actually 14, and we popped back above it in 2015, came back down, tested it for support, got support, and that ran us all the way up into the bull run. There is... Over here in 2018, we did the same thing, capitulated past it, broke back above it, came back down, tested for support, and I do believe we are on our way. Now let's look at, we'll take a look at the bearish case too. Let's look at the daily first. Looking at the daily, you can see I have my targets in here, and we'll talk about those in a second. We're having a nice move now, and I'm looking for a bounce at 8,300, possibly down to 8,050, 8,070 area. If you look here, that would be retesting. If we went down to the 8,070, that would be retesting the top of this falling wedge, which is a very good possibility, guys. And I'll show you why here in a few. I do want everyone to keep in mind that we do have this support at 7,700, which is another possibility. We could go all the way down to the 72.79, and that would be the measured move of this wedge here, this rising wedge, which also lines up at the 0.618. let's look at the 5400 is the Fibonacci retracement of the 0.786 from this whole move down right here. I do want to remind you guys, I do believe the bottom's in, but I want you to keep in mind that 5400 is definitely possible, the 0.786 Fibonacci. But I do believe this was most likely the bottom, and it was a stop hunt from this wick over here. We dropped below it, didn't stay below it long. What they did was they sucked up all the stops. It was a stop hunt for everybody that went long here and had their stops just below this wick. They picked them up and continued up. That is my theory of what happened there. Obviously, no guarantee. Nobody knows for sure. But take a look at the RSI in the daily. We've had this falling channel in orange, which we fell out of, popped back above it, and we have this rising channel in white. And we did test it 1, 2, 3, 4 times and continuing down. Looks like we're coming down to possibly get a bounce off of the top of this falling channel. And that would also line up with that 8,070 area. Maybe the 8,300. We could get a bounce there. That's the 200 EMA on the daily. But like I said, we're going to take a look at that in the 4 hour. I do want to take a look at this real quick over on the weekly. Look at the EMAs on the weekly. We are above them all, and the 21 EMA is right around the 8,200. So 8,250. I'd want to see the weekly close above 8,250 to remain bullish here. Let's go back to the 4 hour, and this is what we've been looking at for the past week. So I'm looking for an ABC correction. I did have A all the way down at 8,300, which is still possible. But I do believe this might be the case here. This was A, this was B, and this is C, all the way down to the 8,070 range, which will also line up with the 200 EMA on the 4 hour. As you can see, the EMAs here are all turning bearish. We've had the 8 cross the 21, the 8 cross the 55. The 13 is looking to cross next, and then would be the 21, and that would be probably what would pull us down to the 8074. But keep in mind, we could get a nice bounce off of this 8,300. Another thing I want to look at real quick on the 4 hour is look at this as a possible inverse head and shoulders, and the measured move off of that. Let's take a quick look at what that might be. Be around in this area. That could be all the way down to the 7,900. So remember, we have the 0.618 and the 0.65 golden pocket zone right here. That's around between the 7,650 and the 7,750. That would be the lowest point I think we should go, other than, remember, we had this rising wedge in orange, and the measured move off of that is right at the 7,320, which is also the 0.786 range. So keep that in mind, guys. If we do dip below the 7,320, we could be looking for much lower lows back down to that 54 to 5,500 area, the 0.61 or the 0.786. I just want you guys to keep in mind, I don't believe that's what's going to happen, but there's no way to tell right now. But I am definitely looking for the bounce off of 83 or 84. If we get the bounce off of 83, this still could just have been A. And if we take a Fibonacci extension, let's say we go down to the 83 and get a nice bounce there. The golden pocket retracement would be around the 88 to 8,900. Then we have the 0.786 at $9,000 range. If that was the case, guys, then we would look at, let's get the fib extension on here. Say we went down to 83. Say we get the bounce all the way to the golden pocket zone, which is around 88.60. The 1-to-1 extension then, guys, would be around the 79.50. Now, if we went up to the 9,000 for B, the 1-to-1 extension is then right around the 81.13. So keep this in mind. Although we have broken down past this trend line here, I think we're most likely gonna head down to that 8,074, but definitely look for a bounce at the 8,300 that we've been talking about for a while. Again, guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, I want to remind you, if you guys are into trading, Bybit is having a $300 giveaway if you deposit 1 Bitcoin. I have links down below. If you use my links, you get bonuses for signing up. I have the Bybit link down there and the Prime XBT. They both offer leverage trading, so you can trade and make money on the way up or the way down. It doesn't matter which way the market's going. I'll leave a Bybit tutorial up top. You can check that out if you're interested. Like I said, if you use my links, you get a bonus for signing up. The links are down below. But anyways, that's what I'm looking at right here, guys. Like I said, the EMAs are turning bearish, so I am looking, like I said, the 8,300 we could get a bounce there, but around the 80.74 would complete this ABC in my opinion, and then we would have one more leg up. We could actually possibly see that 10,500, guys, which we've talked about before. Could be an inverse head and shoulders, this being the left shoulder head, if we get up to that 80 or 10,500, guys, and then make a left shoulder, come back down, and then break up from there. So that would be pretty damn bullish, even though people would probably freak out after we, came back down from 10.5. But I just wanted to point that out. Let's look at the RSI in the 4-hour. As you can see, we were in this rising channel. We had this rising broadening wedge that we were watching for days, and we finally broke through. We're down now. We have a half hour for this to pop back inside this in the 4-hour. If it does not close above this, most likely we're going to continue down to around that $8,000 range that I have marked. So that's what I'm looking at. But keep in mind, we still have a half hour that could close above. By the time you watch this video, we'll know what happened there. So look at Litecoin on the daily. And this is what we were watching yesterday. I have this target up here. It's 6,600. We still may reach that, but not till after correction, obviously. We had this rising broadening wedge here, which we popped out of, and that gave me that target of 6,600. But we did get rejected at the 200 EMA. And I do believe this is most likely an ABC correction. We have dropped back in this rising wedge, which I had said that would most likely be bearish. I do not know why this line's here. Let me get that out of there. Sorry. All right. So we also have this old resistance at 49.50. That is another possibility we go down that low. But if you look here, the 55 EMA, which is the yellow line here, will line up around that 51.32 when we get down there. Unless we drop down fast, like I said, look for the 49.50 worst case. But yeah, I think Litecoin definitely gave us a major clue of what's going on here. Let's go into the 4-hour, take a look at one more thing. And that being possible head and shoulders here. This being, I'll draw it out for you real quick. This being the left shoulder, head, right shoulder. And if we take a measured move of that, we measure the length of the head, the tip of the head, all the way down to the neckline. And then we go from the neckline down. That gets us in the golden pocket zone, guys. That could bring us all the way down to the between 47.50 and 48.50, right in this range. So keep that in mind. That's a definite possibility. And then get our bounce from there between the 47 and 49 dollar range. So that's what I'm looking at. As you can see, volume is definitely on the decline here, but we do have more bearish case scenario for Litecoin also. It's actually going to be lower than this. I know a lot of people have been talking, super low lows. I would expect a bounce off of the top of this wedge. The worst case scenario, maybe come down to the $44 range, somewhere in there. As long as we don't go lower than this low of 36, I wouldn't be too bearish on here. But, if we did, we could be looking back down into the $20 range. So I'm not thinking we're going to go there. Like I said, everything's looking pretty good right now. We'll keep an eye on it. I'll keep giving you daily updates. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you smash the likes, hit the thumbs up, leave your comments down below, which also gets you entered to win a free t-shirt. We do the random comment pick on Sunday. And hit the CryptoSavy logo above my head. That will get you subscribed to the channel. And tick the notification bell to get you notified every time I post a new video. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I'm out.